Hello, my name is John Rosebush. I'm the founder, the CEO, and the president of the Worldwide Development Corporation. I decided to create a video about the upcoming water crisis. Today we see lots of water shortages, but in the future it's a water crisis that's going to happen. We see it all over the world. So before I get into that, let's remind you that the Worldwide Development Corporation has created a new energy invention. It has the capability to generate 100,000 terawatts of 24/7 electricity. Today, the world only generates about 6.8 to 7 terawatts. I created two videos recently. One talking about the cost differential between wind and solar. It discusses that the new energy invention is capable of generating energy at least 100 times cheaper than wind or solar. Also, much cheaper than coal. Right now, today, the coal is the cheapest form of energy generation on the planet, and this is much cheaper. Doesn't consume resources. Based on kinetic energy. Also, I created a video that discusses the capabilities of the new energy invention. The new energy invention is capable of being distributed widely across the entire planet, almost anywhere. This will give us the capability to power this planet and do things that we've never been able to do before. So, why am I talking about water shortages? Well, today, the world has major water shortages all over the world. India is the perfect example. Today, in the year 2020, which is next year, it is predicted that there could be at least 20 major cities in India that run out of tap water. Now that's severe. That is a huge amount of people. And by the way, India isn't even in the top 10 as far as the amount of water that per person on the planet. Yet, because of its size and population, it becomes enormously important. Actually, if India goes by what the predictions are, more people will be affected than the other top 10 countries that are affected by water. So it's the severe issues for India. Now, if we want to go through the different water shortages around the world, the Aral Sea, which was the fourth largest lake in the world, is dry. It's in the east. The Rhine River in Germany is drying up. The Ganges the Ganges River in India is running very low. 28,000 rivers in China have dried up. 28,000 out of 50,000. That's an enormous problem. The Yangtze and Yellow River in China are severely polluted and are also running out of water. The Dead Sea has dropped tremendously over the years. There's going to be water wars. Lake Chad in Africa is drying up. Lake Urum in Iran is 80% less than what it was. Lake Aso in Africa. Lake Puza in India. These are just a few of the examples. We know in the Southwest in the United States are having severe water shortages. England is predicted to have major water shortages by the year 2020. So these are not just isolated to poor countries. This is all over the world. What are some of the causes of it? Some of the causes are glaciers are melting. Not as much glacier runoff. Some of the other problems in India and China are pollution, lack of sanitation. There's all kinds of issues that are causing water shortages around the world, and pollution. This has to be corrected. So, what does the Worldwide Development Corporation have to do with this? Well, today, desalination is not being used very often because the energy is very expensive. Very expensive. Saudi Arabia is one of the few countries that has really embraced it. And that's because of their oil. Yemen, by the way, right next to it that they're having a war with, is the most severe water shortage country in the world. We need to correct this. So why is the Worldwide Development Corporation making a video again about water shortages? Well, the Worldwide Development Corporation knows it can create unlimited energy throughout the planet. This allows us to desalinate everywhere in the world. We can actually refill the Aral Sea, completely fill it back up. Cheap. And all the other lakes and rivers. We could turn this world into a water oasis from the problems that we have today. Very cheap. Where we wanted to build desalination plants, we could install a couple of these new energy units and have 2 gigawatts, 3 gigawatts of electricity to power those desalination plants. We could also, wherever we want to pipe the water, we could power the pumps from this. Heck, we could turn a desert into an ocean. We have the capability to do that. Very cheap. Very, very cheap. So the idea that we're sitting here and we're having all these water shortages, people are suffering around the world, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Worldwide Development Corporation has the answers. But just because we can desalinate doesn't mean that we can't, we have to do it responsible. What do I mean by responsible? Well, if you desalinate and you turn around and you there's a lot of brine in the desalination process. A lot. Maybe 50-60% of the ocean water turns out to be brine. We have to take that and deliver it back out to sea, and I mean quite a ways from the shoreline, so we don't destroy the shoreline. That would be the responsible way to desalinate. Desalination is only one piece of it. We also need to dispose of the waste very responsible. This can be done, folks. Also, we can correct the idea of sanitation. We can power sanitation plants around the world where there's not, like India and China. So we don't pollute the waters. There's many things that we can do. You know, when we have water shortages, it affects the agriculture. It affects power generation today because of the coal. Lots of water consumption with coal energy generation. Lots of it. That can all be eliminated because we won't be using coal no more. So the idea that this new energy invention is great for cheap energy is much more than that. It gives us the capability to solve the water shortages around the world. That's a big deal. Matter of fact, there's 2 essential things to the sustainability of the human race. One of them is water, the most primary, because without water you can't have life. Second one is oil. Because we need oil to make products, not energy, not transportation fuels, products. That's how we make a modern society. Oil is almost as essential as water. Now, in the near future, India is about to run out of water. I have the answer to India. I have the answer to China. China's going to be right behind them. In fact, they've already crisscrossed their country with canals trying to supply water where it needs to go. You know, this situation is going to continue to get worse. Why? Because the glaciers are melting. Soon there won't be any runoff. That eliminates the rivers. You know, India and China have already used up much of the groundwater. In other words, they've overpumped the groundwater. The wells are all drying up everywhere. You know, they're depending on the weather for water. That's a heck of a thing to do. We've seen it in history. Rain dances in America, the Dust Balls of the 20s and 30s. Well, now there's 1.3 billion people in India and 1.5 billion people in China that are dependent upon the weather for their fresh water. We can do better. This new energy invention can power desalination plants all over the world. And I don't know how many people know this, but almost over 40% of the people living in this planet live close to the oceans. 97% of the water in this world is ocean water, salt water, seawater. 3% is fresh water. 2% of the fresh water is in glaciers and the Arctic and Antarctic and Greenland. 1% is actual fresh water we can use. Tells you how enormous problem this is and how easily available with unlimited energy we could solve it. Now I'm here and I've created many videos talking about the new energy invention. But I haven't created a video talking about all the things that it can solve and the things that we need to do to create a sustainable planet. I will be creating another video in the near future that discusses those. Now, if you're a country leader, especially India or China, you need to contact me. We need to get this going. As far as my integrity, I've never asked anybody for a penny. I still am not. I need leaders around the world to step up. Why? Why do I continue to need very high leadership to step up? I have not filed patents because the patent system is broken around the world. It's very easy to get a patent, but extremely difficult to protect one. That's why I need very high level leadership to join into this new, into the Worldwide Development Corporation for protection of the patent. Why do I want to protect the patent? It's not for greed. It's so that the normal people around the world can benefit from this new energy invention instead of the greedy few. Almost all of this is nonprofit except for the partners. And those partners are going to earn the amount of money that they receive. This is critical. And I continue to put out different posts explaining what this new energy invention can do. So please contact me. My website is www.wdcpower.com. You can email me directly through there. And also you can look at many of these videos. And if you go out onto the YouTube and look up Worldwide Development Corporation, you'll have access to all the videos that I have created. I thank you very much. You have a great day.